Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all come on in. Welcome to the Albert Tate Podcast Live Edition. What's up, y'all? How are y'all doing? Justin, how am I looking? Am I clear? Am I blurry? Is my connection strong? I was on with my boy, Ricky Jenkins, a few minutes ago, and my stuff was a little blurry, so I want to make sure my stuff is good. Hello from Indiana. What's up? Hey, Jackie. Use a straw. I wiped it off. I did all the stuff. Yo, what's up? I miss y'all at Willow too. I'm Southwest, all my places I go to. I'm telling you, I have been just landed on the ground. Haven't been able to get out, but this is a great way for us to connect and connect with all my friends and family. Hey, DeLeslin, so good to see you on here. Alyssa Silapai, what's up, girl? How y'all doing? How y'all handling this this quarantine? Y'all got cabin fever, as they say? Are y'all doing good? How are y'all surviving? How are you staying encouraged as you are quarantined in lockdown? Miss you too, Trey. Hey, Trey, man, I'm proud of you, bro. You're in college. You're doing your thing. I'm so proud of you and the work that you're doing. Keep the hard work up, even with this little setback, man. Keep working hard, bro. I'm excited. I just been keeping up with you and the stuff you're doing, bro. So keep it going, man. We proud of you and we rooting for you. You gonna win big if you keep working hard, bro. Keep working hard. Silapai, are you serious? Do you have corona? Do you have the virus? Yo, what's up? Hey, Jude 132. How y'all doing? Yo, so I'm going to bring on my homeboy here in a little bit. I've been working from home almost 2 years. Oh, wow. That's a good gig. Finding things that keep my mind busy. That's good. Reading Bob Goff's devotional. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know he had a devotional. That's really cool. Anthony Bivens. T.O. in the building. T.O., I'm gonna grab Léonce and we're gonna do an interview first, and then T.O., I'll grab you in like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. So get ready. Get your popcorn ready, because we're gonna do some chopping up. Joe, man, so good to see that hand waving, man. How you been, bro? I hadn't heard from you in a long time. Send me a text, give me an update on how y'all doing, man. Hey, there go my wifey joined in there. Yo, so share this with some friends. We're going to be gathering together. I'm going to have some conversations with some good friends. There go T.O. Get your popcorn ready. Get your popcorn ready. We coming in. Oh, man. Share it with some friends. Y'all come on in. What else have y'all been doing? How else have y'all been staying encouraged and keeping yourself sane during the quarantine? Oh, and another thing. Let's get this going. If you've been watching something, I'm looking for new things to watch on Netflix or Hulu. Drop some good things that I could watch. Now listen, I don't want nothing that's depressing and that's going to leave me with a cliffhanger and unresolved. I want happy endings. I want things that's going to make me want to cry, tears of joy. So give me some good stuff, but no horror stuff, nothing, none of that stuff or whatever. All right, let's see here. All right, I'm bringing. Let me think. McMillions on HBO. The McDonald's Monopoly game is all fixed. There he is.
What's up, sir?
Ladies and gentlemen, Leonce Crump.
How you doing, brother?
Dude, I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Out here getting some vitamin D.
You sitting outside?
Now, well, I'm walking right now, yeah.
Now, everybody, Leonce, you're in Atlanta, Georgia, right?
That's right.
Oh man.
Nice and green out here.
It is. The weather's not bad. The weather's not bad out there, huh?
Oh, man, listen, we got high 60s, nice sun.
It's feeling like
I don't
LA.
know what it is. You know, hey, listen, I've been trying to get out there for years. The Lord decided to bring it to me.
Now, man, tell me about your family. How's your family? Is everybody at home? How many kids you got? Are they out of school? What's going on?
Well, as you can see from my disheveled locks, I've got 4 kids. Everybody's at home. I've got 4 kids in 2 different generations. And so we have a 12-year-old girl, 10-year-old girl, 4-year-old boy, 2-year-old girl. So we just trying to figure it out every day, man.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. See, I got 3 generations. I've got a 13, 11-year-old, then an 8-year-old, then an 18-month-old.
Well, I know we talked about that when that fresh gray popped out of your chin last year.
Oh, Doc, this gray, Doc, the last one, the church plant started it, and then the Micah just brought the last bottom on in. You know what I mean?
Oh yes. Oh
yeah,
yes.
Yeah. So it's been good. So how's it been being at the house? Is it normal? Do you usually work at home, or are you usually outside of the house? And is your wife normally working in the home, or is she normally outside of the house? What's the deal?
So I am normally completely outside of the house. So getting adjusted to the new rhythms, trying to sermon prep and pivot, in the moment. Of course, I don't know if you've been keeping up, but Atlanta, our mayor, whose name is Keisha, which brings me great joy every time I say that.
Every time I'm in the Atlanta airport, she'd be like, "Hey, this Keisha. I'm the mayor.
That's what she said.
Welcome to Atlanta, Georgia. This Keisha.
Welcome, y'all. Welcome, babies." So, they put us under that young stay at home.
When did y'all get under that?
Yesterday.
Okay. Oh wow. See, we've been on it since last week.
Well, you're looking well, sir.
I know. Well. I'm good. I'm sniffling, but that ain't. I'm just working out some sinuses. That's all. Don't get worried.
So how y'all doing y'all's recordings now? That's what I'm trying to figure out today.
So we got a setup at home. I'm using my iPhone at home with a light at my house, recording it, and then I'm sending it to our tech guy, and then he'll edit it, and then he'll post it up in real time on Sundays and on Saturday night.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about worship?
We've got stuff pre-recorded, and then we've got some folks with studios and stuff in their house that they're going to do some stuff in their house.
I think that's what we're trying to pull together. So that answers your question. Just really trying to pivot, man. Things changing every day.
Yeah.
We just launched a midweek service that'll start on the 1st, and just trying to keep up with the change of dynamic. And then my wife is actually our women's pastor. So she's been part-time as our women's pastor for some time. And so we're trying to juggle in rhythm, how to do homeschool. She's got to connect with the ladies and get all that stuff out. And I'm trying to get all my stuff out. And so it's just been a dance, man. It's been a dance.
Dude, it's so important to have especially with all that going on, to have a partner that can dance with you, man. Having a partner that can flex and pivot and dance and move. What do you say to couples? What would you say to encourage couples that are all in the house right now trying to do, or maybe they don't even realize that that's what they need to do, is pivot and flex and to move according to where they are? What encouragement do you give them?
I mean, that would be my encouragement is this is not a normal circumstance. I think one of the things we tried to avoid initially, and I don't mean we just as a family, I mean we as a nation, we really tried to avoid how bad this actually is, and I don't think we wanted to really acknowledge, how this would disrupt our rhythms. I actually just got off of a webinar with Dr. Henry Cloud talking about that very thing. And one of the things he said that I thought was so important was you've got to name it, call it what it is. Nobody's life is functioning normally right now, and there are present and future pressing realities that we're going to have to face around the corner, to the point where I actually told a brother the other day, flexibility is a word that I usually use a lot, but I've actually been moving more toward using the word fluidity, because a rubber band is incredibly flexible, but it even has a breaking point, right? You stretch it far enough, it'll break. But fluidity, right? Now I know you're gonna preach it better than me.
Come on, Doc, preach it. Come on, Doc.
But fluidity means that I'm gonna form to whatever container I find myself in, right? And I'm still not gonna break.
And so that's good.
That's what we're kind of trying to live. I mean, that's why I'm sitting outside right now. I was gonna try to set up real nice on my orange couch with my wood wall, and my son got up, and the first thing he did was go, "Ah!" And I was like, yeah, this is done. I see what kind of mood this brother right now.
This is not about to go down. This is not about
so
to
let
go
me
down.
just go ahead and let him have the house. and I'm gonna come outside and soak up some of this sun. I should put my sunglasses on.
Yeah.
And because he woke up on 12. I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna fight him for position right now.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Man, as a leader, how are you navigating just staying encouraged with the realities of everything that's going on, bro? Like it's a lot. Fear, somebody in your family getting it, somebody in your church passing away, all that stuff. I know you've had to think about all that stuff. What do you do with that, and how do you keep going with the cycle of fears that could kind of show up in this season?
You mind if I get philosophical for a minute?
Oh, not at all.
So I think there are some unique people groups, and y'all watching, forgive me for wiping my eyes. I just got pollinated by some bees. But I think there are some unique people groups in the world. So I'll go short history, long history, who have got a generational inheritance that enables us to navigate trying and traumatic circumstances while acknowledging what those things are, but still holding out hope. We had to face slavery, we had to face Jim Crow, others had to face post-Holocaust and Ellis Island. Like there are rhythms that we've got a generational handoff on how to navigate these things. And then when you wrap us into the family of God, we have a whole Old Testament that is about going through and coming over and going through and coming over and going through and coming over. And so I've just been revisiting those things over and over again. I've been reading Psalm 91 every morning. That's been a great encouragement to me. And just watching God show up in ways that other people could not anticipate. And then one of the other things that has encouraged me, brother, and I know you're kind of dialed into revivalist history as well, but for those of us who are pseudo-historians, we know that every revival, national and global, was preceded by some type of crisis. Yeah. And so I've been waking up every day reminding myself that on the other side of this is going to be an incredible harvest. And we're going to see the Lord work in ways that he would not have otherwise worked had it not been preceded by this crisis. And there are going to be people who come to the end of themselves, come to the end of their self-sufficiency, come to the end of their identity. And Jesus is going to be waiting there at the end of that. And I believe that our churches are going to be full. Maybe not by Easter. I'm not throwing no shade at nobody. But on the other side of this crisis, I have packed houses as show up again for hope and show up again for something deeper, having navigated this situation.
Yeah, that's good. Like it's something in us that just rises in crisis and struggle.
Yes, sir.
So in the midst of the crisis, you look for the opportunity because this is the setup for God to move on our behalf. It's just kind of how he sets up. That's what he does. We talked about Jeremiah 29 and 11. It says you don't get to verse 11 without first going through verses 4 through 10. And the promise comes out of a problem. He says, I know the plans that I have for you because you're in a situation where you're wondering if I have any plans for you. That's why the promise is so significant.
Let me get on this Hammond real quick.
Doc, the plans were so significant and it made so much sense because it was coming out of a problem. They didn't think God had a plan because they were left in Babylon and didn't have a purpose, didn't have an identity, and were thinking about just giving up. And God says, no, whoa. In the midst of the problem, I've got a plan. And my plan is a good plan, and it's going to work out. It ain't going to be on your time. It ain't going to be with your conditions. You don't get to say, put a rider against it and say, well, if I'm going to do this, here's what I'm going to need during this season. No. He says, plant and experience the harvest. Now, that's got a timetable built into it because you can't plant and get a harvest in the same day. So he's saying,
you got to go through a process.
You're going to be here for a while. You're going to go through a process, but there's a harvest coming on the other side. So before you go grabbing the promise, make sure you're willing to sit on the problem. One person says it this way, don't sit on the premises when you should be standing on the promises. And don't miss this opportunity that you have. So I feel like in the midst of this season, there is a promise, but we can't make light of the problem, and we can't act like it doesn't exist. Christianity is not a denial of the reality. It's an acknowledgement of the reality, and it's a declaration in the midst of the reality that, yes, my problem is big, but my God is bigger. So I will work through this problem because I've got a big God carrying me all the way through. Come on,
Talk about
somebody.
it. Hold on, let me give you that mother head shake.
That mother head. And look, and Doc, you got to have the swing with it. That swings with it, Doc. So
how do you think we're doing with that as a church? Because I want to tell you what I feel like I've been seeing, but I'm curious what you're seeing related to everything you just said.
Yeah. You know, I think it's going to get confusing in the next few weeks. I think it's going to get confusing because I feel like there's a propaganda and there's going to be a tension.
Mm-hmm.
People or money. And I think the gods are being exposed.
Yes, sir.
The gods are being exposed. Who do we really worship? Do we really worship God and his virtue and his value? Or do we worship the economy and God is right there, but there are unique seasons and times where the sun will shine on it a certain way and it'll expose what's really in front and what's really behind.
That's right.
We want to act like God is really in front. But I think the sun and the moon have aligned where we can see it clearly now. And the truth is, I think the economy is in the front and God is in the back. And we're hoping that God supports the economy.
Oh, yeah.
God doesn't have a problem with walking with poor people. God is not intimidated by poverty. I think
that's what the whole book about, Bishop.
Yeah. But
I think the book is written to poor people.
But if you listen, they're thinking the worst thing that can happen to America is not that we be lost or not that we die, but that we be broke. Because to them, that is death. Yep. One guy even said, I'd rather die and give my kids my money than lose my money and my kids just have me. That ain't exactly how he said
Nobody said that. Are you serious?
But that's the essence of what he said. That I don't want to get in trouble, but it was somebody. It was on the news this week. It was on the news. I'm not gonna call his name, but he just said basically, what's more important is the economy moving forward. And if some people have to die in order for the economy to move forward, then people gonna die anyway. So you will notice. Watch this. They've stopped talking figures and they've started talking percentages. Because they'll say 1.7% of America will die, such and such. They say that so you can be like, 1%, that's millions of people. That's a lot of people.
We're talking about 4-5 million people.
Yeah, so just the rhetoric that's about to come up, and even us being back by Easter and packed by Easter, with all of that, that's not fueled by gospel transformation. That's fueled by economic survival.
Yeah.
Did you get that? Did you hear that? Yeah. So I did. And it's getting political, and I don't want it to get political, but we've got to stand in the midst of the politics and say, here's what matters. People's lives matter. Healthcare matters.
Yes.
And my grandmother being able to live through this crisis matters. And if it affects the economy to where many will have less, while some of y'all still have more, the economy is secondary. Now, I'm not going to be hypocritical. I got lights and bills and stuff that need to be paid. So the economy is important, but we're not about to sacrifice lives so I can save money.
Brother, listen.
You talk to me. What you thinking?
Well, I don't want to come on your podcast and be acting up, man.
Doc, act up, Doc. That's why I called you. You act up. That's why you here. You and Terrell Owens, y'all act up. That's what you do. I'm trying to get some popcorn on this episode. Let's go, baby.
So everything you just described is the American narrative. I mean, that is the historical arc. We have sacrificed lives from the moment the Irish first landed here as slaves and indentured servants to now. We have always put the God of wealth in front of human flourishing. That is the story. That's the wealth gap. That is the CEO making 300-400 times more than the common employee. That is the whole narrative. And so I feel like the church has a glorious moment here that rather than being co-opted by a political agenda or by political rhetoric, we can actually stand completely co-joined to the God that we say that we believe in, and to the Jesus that we say we represent. And that's where I feel that tension and feel that frustration is this. I want to be surprised, but I'm not. You had that feeling before?
Yeah.
Where it's like, I want to be like, oh man, there's no way we would ever put people's lives on the line in the name of money. But no, that's what we do. That is exactly what America is known for. So that's what my tension is.
Yeah. So now, if they're saying we're back by Easter, do you open up the buildings and pack it out for Easter, or what?
Come on, man. No, sir. No, sir.
Why? So to pastors and
sir.
to people that go to church, Leonce, why is it important that they close the churches and keep the churches closed? Not close the church. Let me take that back, because the churches aren't closed. They've just transitioned to online.
Come on.
Why is it important that we not have public gatherings right now? Why is that a big deal?
Because we know that this disease spreads through the air. This disease spreads through what you touch. Proximity is the conduit of this disease. And so for us to put our Easter numbers and to put our Easter giving and to put our spot in the fastest growing churches rankings ahead of human flourishing is to diminish the gospel and diminish the role of the church, man. I mean, it is grievous to me to go online and see people still gathered in the name of God and saying God's going to take care of us. Well, I'm pretty sure that Satan took Jesus up to the corner of the temple and said, throw yourself off, won't his angels catch you? And Jesus said, no, I'm not going to tempt God like that.
Wow. That's good. That's good.
No, if we open up by Easter, we won't be joining them.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. It's just dangerous. And we hadn't even seen the results yet. We don't even have enough tests to even know how many people got it yet.
That's exactly right. We don't have tests. We don't have a cure. The only thing we know is that there's a 2-week incubation period. And if we stay away from each other for a little while, then we can actually navigate this. But I turn on the news and you got a beach full of people talking about their immune system is strong. Come on, man.
Well, and look, my thing is, even if your immune system was strong, after all that tequila you drank, your immune system is now down.
That's right. Tequila don't kill COVID, though.
Take it from someone who knows, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, they know.
Bro.
They know.
Bro, man, I love you, man. I appreciate you taking some time to hang out with me a little bit here. And we should do this again, man. This is fun.
Man, we like to kick it, brother. We need to set up like a behind the scenes hangout one time just for a special crew.
I know. That'll be good. I know what we're gonna be doing too. Man, ladies and gentlemen, Leonce Crump, y'all give him some love, give him some hearts. I appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate you, bro. Talk to you soon.
Hey, I appreciate you, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, peace. All right, y'all. That was my man, Leonce Crump. When I tell you, he is just a gift to the body. An amazing church he's running out there in Atlanta. And brother's got a heart and a passion for the people of God. And he doesn't pull any punches. Y'all saw him. He was just getting tuned up. But yo, listen, we not done yet though. Stay on, share. My boy T.O. Where you at, T.O.? Send me a request, man, so I can plug you in as we keep this conversation going about life and what's happening. And don't forget, come back, drop some Netflix, some Hulu shows that I need to be watching, that I need to be binging on as we are out here trying to stay encouraged and in our quarantine, and taking care of our families and kids, and single folks. What y'all doing to stay encouraged? How y'all hanging in there? Speaking of a single folk, this is Terrell Owens, who's single. Maybe he can give us some advice for how to be single during the quarantine, how to make it happen. Y'all welcome Terrell, Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. What's up, baby boy?
Hey man, what's up, man? Your connection done faded out on me. You was clear, man. Now you all just pixelated, distorted. That's all that matters. I hear you.
That's to be honest, the anointing. My Wi-Fi can't handle the level of anointing that's flowing through the phone right now. That's what it is.
It's good. They don't need to see your face anyway. They just need to see mine.
Ladies and gentlemen, get your popcorn ready. Get your popcorn ready. T.O.,
man.
You're single, right?
Hey, I tell people I'm just like Kraft cheese, and from the South, you know what that is. I'm single, just like
single
Kraft cheese.
So, man,
exactly.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Man, to the single people out there, what are you doing to stay encouraged as a single person during quarantine? What are you doing to keep yourself lifted during this time, man?
Well, number one, my grandmother always told me, about just being in faith. And so for me, I live in faith and not fear. So I understand that we are in trying times as a country, as America. And then you have all these rumors and speculations. And I think, false information given by people that aren't, I think, well versed on the disease. I think it has caused, a great amount of confusion. Especially when you have, this country being led by Donald Trump, who obviously I think, and that's what I was alluding to about not being well versed about the virus or what have you. I think you should just leave that to the people, especially the doctors. They're the ones that knows kind of, with extreme knowledge about the virus itself, what it can do. I think obviously you can go online and Google coronavirus and figure out, what you should do. But I think the most important thing, I think everybody, it's simple. Basically just, wash your hands, prevent putting your hands, in your face, eyes and things of that nature. Everybody's out there going to the extreme, buying all the toilet paper, which makes no sense to me. I guess at some point, I thought coronavirus, may have caused diarrhea or something, which is why people were buying all the toilet paper. But it makes no sense to go out there and buy all the toilet paper when, at the end of the day, if a crisis were to really happen, what are you going to do? Eat the paper? You should be out going buying some food first and foremost. I mean, toilet paper, obviously, it's a necessity. But at the end of the day, if it came to a survival mode type of situation, you can survive without wiping your butt. You can find bathcloths, towels, things of that nature. You know what I mean? So
we didn't hit a whole
other
other
than that,
level, we didn't hit a whole other level.
But I'm just saying. I mean, like I said, but I'm saying that because everybody has jumped to conclusions based on information. That the president of the United States, has addressed.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of misinformation, and we need to talk to the healthcare professionals. We need to get guidance and insight from them, and that's because it doesn't have to be political. Everything doesn't have to be political. Some things just are, and it's important for us to listen to health professionals. When did it get real for you? And when did you decide to quarantine? And what does quarantining look like for you? Are you still going to the store and going for walks? Are you exercising? When did it get real, and what are you doing?
Well, I think, number one, I'm in Florida. I ended up buying a place here in Florida like a few months ago. So I'm here at my new place. And so I've been doing some rehab stuff out here in Florida. So before I went down to Pensacola, I'm in the Fort Lauderdale area right now, but I'm this week to continue my rehab, my knee rehab down in Pensacola. But obviously they've gotten restrictions and they've kind of limited, it's not a full shutdown, but they've have a partial shutdown at the rehab clinic. So I just been here. trying to kind of, decorate my place. So I've been making trips, constant trips to the container store. The other day, I was at the container store. I was in there for an hour and a half by myself, just myself and the employees. So other than that, that's about the extent of what I've been doing. My daughter lives here. I have a daughter that lives here. So I've been being Mr. Mom for a few days as well. So that's been rewarding just to spend time with her. But other than that, man, I got I haven't done any workouts or anything yet. This is the benefits of being in shape, throughout the course of my career and maintaining the level of fitness and health that I'm in. So in times like this, I don't have to rush to go. Right now, there's nothing in Target, Dick's Sporting Goods. Everybody has rushed to the store, bought all the fitness and exercise equipment. You can't buy anything right now. Maybe some bands or something. Maybe some hand squeezers or something like that. That's about all that's left on the shelves. But right now, like I said, I've just been chilling, man. I've been watching all these feeds, these live feeds. Everybody's been tagging me on all these push-ups and jumping jacks. Like, what am I going to do? How am I going to benefit from doing 10 push-ups? So
Right.
Everybody has these challenges. So I got a unique challenge that I'm going to come up with sometime today or possibly tomorrow. So stay tuned, because I'm definitely going to tag you in it. I already got my first 3 or 4 people that I'm going to tag. I'm going to tag you. I'm tagging President Obama for his presidential driveway. Yes, I said presidential driveway because that's where it's going to take place.
All
so
right.
Anybody that has followed my career, you know what the driveway means. And so, yes, I'm tagging LeBron James. I'm tagging anybody that's famous, of any status. I'm tagging.
All right, let's go. And I feel like you, man, since I've stayed in shape most of my career, I didn't have to go buy any equipment either. What's so fun? What are you like?
Hey, man,
are you snorting? Are you snorting, laughing? Oh my!
Hey, man. Hey, check this out. For all the people that's watching, I attend Fellowship Monrovia. The services are held at the Monrovia High School in the school auditorium. So I've been attending your services there for the last, 4 or 5 years at the most. And so I trust me, I've seen your transformation. I've seen and I've heard, your commitment to trying to, as your weight fluctuates, you've been trying to fit in skinny jeans, all types of, millennial clothing. So I don't know what you're trying to pull over the people's eyes about this fitness stuff you got going on, but I'm letting the people know right now.
Yo, let me tell you something. I take it very seriously, bro. Like I have a high commitment.
Right, as you sip on a Slurpee. as you sip on a Slurpee. You see this right here? I got my drink, my body armor light. I'm sipping on right here. I'm trying to keep it sexy. Everybody's trying to stay sexy and keep it together for summer 2020. Some of them, they working out for 2021 because it may be a shutdown all the way through the summer.
Yo, that's a health drink, but what you don't realize is Wendy got on a headband. This is the workout soda. This is for working out.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Your decoration. I see you got a branch above your head. You doing
this? Oh yeah. This is,
bro.
Yeah, this is, look, what people don't know about me is, and the people that do know and that's watching, they know that I have a love and affection for fashion and home decor. So this is my thing. So I bought my place here. I hired a designer, but pretty much I gave her the direction as far as what I wanted my house to, how I wanted my house to look. So my house is more rustic, farmhouse look. So yeah, so this is some of the stuff.
Oh, okay.
That's the kitchen. So yeah, so I had to do a lot of upgrades and renovating here in my place. Yeah, and you see, I had to position this camera right here right here, because that's what I am right there.
Blessed.
That's to the highest.
I love it.
All day, every day.
I love it. I love it, man. Man, what can people be looking for coming from you? You got the challenge coming out this week. Any other big things that you're working on that you just want people to hear about and know about?
As of right now, if you haven't known or if you haven't been keeping up with me, a friend of mine who played in the league, I just started my my podcast about a few months ago, and it's called "Get Your Popcorn Ready" with T.O. and Hatch. Hatch is a good friend of mine. Like I said, he played in the league for about 8 years. He didn't have a lot of touchdowns though, but he's a good friend. So it's a great dynamic with the show. So we've had people on the show. And we release the show every Tuesday, the audio version, and then YouTube and video will be up on like Thursday. So we've had people like Michael Strahan, we had Bill Bellamy on, we had Jamil Hill, John Claude Van Damme, Eddie Murphy's daughter, she's an artist, Bria Murphy. We got to get you on there.
Love to come on,
have
man.
a lot of episodes. Right. So we have a lot of episodes that's in the can that we're going to be released, which is a good time now that everybody's somewhat quarantined and social distancing, and you have a lot of time on your hand. You can go to the podcast. You can download on the Himalaya app or wherever you get your podcast. Download, subscribe to Get Your Popcorn Ready with T.O. and Hatch. And so obviously people would normally think that it's a sports show. To a degree it is, but it's not so heavily sports driven. So we talk about trending topics, pop culture, anything or anybody that's interesting that we can bring them on to talk about, their life, their transformation, their transition to where they are in their lives now and how they got there. So, no guest really is off limit. We'll even take Donald J. Trump, try to figure out what's going on with America.
That's good, man. That's good. Man, T.O., as we wrap, bro, for the people that are watching that are just having long, hard days and just need some encouragement, would you just take a few moments and just encourage those that are watching and just give them a word before we close?
Well, I think number one, obviously just stay encouraged. And as I said at the top of this program, just live in faith, not fear. And so there, again, you're going to have a lot of people going online, really trying to educate. And then at the same time, there are some people that are out there misinforming the people as well. So just be on your P's and Q's. If you need to do any research or find out anything of the latest about this virus and how long it may last, we don't know. But at the end of the day, like I said, just live in faith and not fear. So for me, I haven't really worried too much about what's going to happen, because what's going to happen is going to happen. And that's how I've been living my life for the most part. So again, I've been social distancing before social distancing was a thing. So I'm not really so I'm not really worried about it. Yes, I'm single. So being in the house, being alone, idle time can be the devil's workshop, as we all know.
That is true.
I don't sit here on this this forum and pretend to be a saint by any means. I'm a sinner. I know that I need to get my life right, but at the end of the day, like I said, I'm always taking time to improve upon how I live my life. My grandmother was a God-fearing lady, and I know what it's like. And she lived in the world and she lived in the church, so I know what it's like to backslide. I know what it's like to get your foot back in the door, being on the good graces of the Lord. So being from the South, and as like I said, I alluded to earlier, you've always kind of, with your sermons, kept the church engaged and bring them back to where you grew up, which is the South. So I like the analogies and the storylines that you bring, to the service that keep the services interesting. But yeah, man, that's, if I can just, like I said, say anything to a lot of people out there, is don't live in fear. Obviously, like I said, do what doctors and the health people are encouraging us to do. is to really prevent and don't put yourself in situations where you're going to spread the disease or contract the disease. And that's, again, try to practice social distancing as much as you can. Try to avoid, large numbers of people. But of course, you're going to have, people that are going to try to, stretch and go against the grain a bit. But at the same time, live in faith, not in fear.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, one of the greatest receivers of all times, my man and brother in Christ, T.O. Terrell. Thanks for coming on, bro. We'll
Absolutely, man. We got to do this again. I don't know how often. You getting on here. Maybe I have to go online and bring you on as a guest. But this has definitely been an honor. Obviously, like I said, obviously to bring exposure to the word. You had Pastor Crump on earlier. Got a chance to listen to him and hear some words of encouragement for the people there in Atlanta and just all the people that are watching. So this has been awesome, man. I kind of tagged a lot of some of the people. I notified my mom and my sister and brother that I was going to be on here, and they know that I go to church out there. So I wanted them to see your face, to see who's giving me the word on Sundays when I'm out there, so they know that I'm not being led astray.
Exactly. He ain't being led astray, y'all. We got it. We taking care of the goat, man. We gonna take care of the goat. Love you, bro. We'll talk soon.
Yeah. And if you and for everybody that's watching, if you're ever out there in the Los Angeles area, again, attend the Fellowship Monrovia. It's in Monrovia, in the city of Monrovia, at Monrovia High School. There in the auditorium. Services are at 9 a.m. and 11 a.m. And I get this question all the time when I tell Pastor. I get this question all the time when people ask me, where do I go to church? As soon as I tell them that I go to church in Monrovia, the first thing out of their mouths is like, what? You go all the way out there to go to church? I said, let me tell you something. Some of them are females. I said, y'all spend more time in the mirror getting ready to go out than it does sometimes for me to get to Monrovia. So if you can spend all that time, 30, 45 minutes to get ready, you can spend that much time to take your butt to church.
That's the best commercial we've ever had. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Popcorn ready.
Hey, and that's
go.
Exactly. And that's not a paid gig. I just saw my mama. She just said she just sent you a message. Her handle is MOBY Maryland. She said, thank you, Pastor Tate. So
I see you, Mama.
Appreciate you.
I see you, Mama.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take care of your boy as much as I can. I'm giving him the word.
Oh yeah, you need. Hey, I need all the word. I need all the word I can get.
All right, bro. Have a good one. We're gonna do this again.
Yeah. All right.
I will.
Tell your wife and everybody
said hi.
Hello.
Yeah. Cool. All right, bro. Peace. Oh wow, yo, that was so much fun. I'm gonna have to do this again. If y'all want us to do this again and keep this going, y'all let us know. Tomorrow morning, I'm launching during this quarantine time, just a daily devotional. It's called Good News Today. It's going to be at 8 a.m. California time, so Pacific Standard Time, 8 a.m. in the morning. We're going to come on live on Facebook and on Instagram. So it's going to be a time where I'm going to open up the Word of God, and we're just going to encourage you and make sure that every day you're getting some good news. There's a lot of news out there, a lot of people saying a lot of stuff, but I want to make sure that every day you're experiencing the good news of the gospel. So tune in with me either live or catch it later on in the day, but we're going to be diving into the Word. Good News Today with a daily devotional with Pastor Albert Tate. I cannot wait. But until then, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the podcast. This is going to be our podcast for the week. So all of the Albert Tate podcast listeners, thank you so much. Thanks, Mike. Thankful for my guests, Leon, T.O. Y'all are just amazing and great friends. And I hope you guys were encouraged. All right, y'all. Y'all stay safe. Wash your hands. Have a good day. And I'll see y'all tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Good News Today. Let's go. All right.
Thank you for tuning in to this week's episode of the Albert Tate Podcast. To stay connected, make sure to subscribe to the Albert Tate channel, rate and review this episode, and make sure to share on your social media platforms. You can follow along with Albert on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Once again, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode, and we'll see you next time.